This is the plaintiff, Sharia Jiggets. She says she and the defendant live together, and the girl simply won't split the cost of the electric and cable bills they owe. She doesn't know what the girl's problem is because they had an agreement. All this has caused them to default. They're receiving turn-off notices. And since she can't afford to pay these bills on her own, she has to sue her own roommate to get the $596.84 she's owed. This is the defendant, Alicia Davis. She says her job situation changed, and she told the plaintiff she couldn't any longer afford the cable, internet, and house phone service, so she should cancel them. The plaintiff refused for whatever reason and gave them her credit card to cover the bills. The plaintiff knew she was having a hard time with money, never asked for any, and is now coming after her in court? Who does that? Bottom line, she agreed to nothing and owes nothing. She is accused of letting her roommate down.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. These litigants live together, and the plaintiff says the defendant stiffed her on cable and other stuff. But the defendant says she gave the plaintiff notice she couldn't afford it. It's the case of Cable Up and Sue.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Sharia Jiggets?
Yeah.
Okay, you are suing Alicia Davis for $596.84, which you say are her half of bills that she was refusing or didn't have the money to pay for and owes you for. You two are roommates?
Yeah.
And you're still roommates right now?
Yeah.
This is awkward. You're going to be roommates until when?
Until the end of this month.
Okay. Is she paying the rent?
I don't know.
Because you guys each pay it separately to the landlord?
Yeah.
Are you paying the rent?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you coming to court to sue for today?
Basically, the half of the bills that she didn't pay for.
And what are those?
Like electric and the cable bill.
Okay, and when did she stop paying and what did she say?
It was back in November when she got a new job, I guess. And she was working at a job that paid less.
Right.
But it gave her more hours. Then she took a job that paid more but gave her less hours.
Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work out. And then,
so then that's when the bill started getting backed up. So then we started, that's when we got a notice saying, okay, pay the cable bill, else we're going to get it shut off. So then a guy came to our house one day, and so he was like, if I take it, you're going to have to pay like almost $400 for everything. So I took my bank account and I gave him the card and he paid for it. So then she was like, oh, I'm going to give you your money back. And I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't worry about it. Then I never got my money back.
Okay. Now, according to you, you told her, shut the cable, I have no money.
Yeah, basically.
Well, what's your defense? Because when you moved in there, your deal was that you were going to work enough hours that you would be able to pay half the bills. And at the time, half the bills were cable too.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing was, I had told her the last cable bill that I could pay for, I said, this is the money. Here, take it. I can't afford it anymore. Just cancel it. So I'm telling her, like, Shay, you know we can't afford the cable right now. Well, I can't afford the cable, and we need to just get it cut off. And she was saying that she needed the internet for school, and I'm like, you got to make sacrifices. If we can't afford something, why are you forcing me to pay something that I can't afford? And I'm letting you know.
why don't you just work more hours?
That's the thing. I was pregnant at work, so they wasn't giving me any hours like that. So the only thing, all the money that I was getting from my two checks.
But you also weren't paying the electric bill, according to her.
Yeah, I was paying it. I was asking my mom to help me to pay the electric bill too.
Do you have proof of what you paid?
I don't have proof. I just was giving her cash.
How are you going to defend yourself when somebody's saying you didn't pay your bills and we know you didn't pay your bills? Okay. She says she told you turn off the cable.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but I didn't. So I just took away everything because I was just fed up with
How
everything.
did you, quote, take away everything?
I took it from both of our rooms, and I took cable.
Well, when did you do that?
This was in December because they called me and was like, if you don't pay the bill, it's going to keep accumulating.
I don't understand. You canceled cable? You did?
I canceled it.
You canceled it in December.
Mm-hmm.
And you're suing for December through March of cable bills.
Because I paid it and she didn't, there was still a remaining balance left, and it was her balance because we're supposed to split it. That was the remaining balance.
I need the bills, and I need to understand what months you're suing for.
This is all the bills, and then that was the bill right there, the
So did she cancel cable when you said cancel cable?
No.
According to you, cable wasn't canceled till when?
Until like the following month after, because the guy came and she paid the bill.
That's how it takes a second. Okay, so the guy came and then what?
The guy came and was taken, and I told her, I'm like, Shay,
When the guy came, was it over?
No, because she paid the bill. She paid whatever.
Yeah, she testified. That's why I'm not understanding. And the guy came when?
The guy came around. It had to be like a month, like around Christmas time or something. Either November, December. I don't forgot.
This is just your handwriting on a piece of paper. And all the piece of paper tells me, which is from Optimum, is we acknowledge receipt of your payment of $98 on February 7th. How are you proving the amounts you're suing for?
Yeah, but they don't allow you to go on side because you already canceled it. So they don't let you to go back on when you put in your
You know what? You
password.
can't get out of your own way. I'm going to give you access to a computer, and I'm going to give you a member of our staff to see if maybe you can figure out what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, I'm just going to rule on the little bit that I have in front of me. The electric bill, I don't know whether you're contesting the electric bill. She says you still owe $180 on the electric bill.
Yeah, because that was for the month that I was out on maternity leave. I told her that I couldn't pay it because I
Well, I
wasn't
don't care that
getting
you can. Listen, lady, the fact that you have problems, I got an idea. Use birth control. Because if you're all of a sudden finding yourself with all of these problems, then that is not a defense to paying. That may be why you didn't pay her, but that's not why you're not going to pay her now, because that's not a defense. Court is in recess.
All rise.
So is the defendant allowed to say, hey, I don't want to pay the cable bill anymore, or is she stuck paying the cable bill?
I think she's allowed to say she doesn't need to, because things could come up where you need to pay for other things.
Okay, but the plaintiff relied on that.
I think it depends what person's name it's in.
Well, no, I don't think it does. The plaintiff and the defendant agreed that they'd split it.
Yeah, I think you need to keep up with your agreement, and because it's
So
not...
tough luck for the defendant.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you have a chance to go over the bills a little bit on the internet
Yes.
with your company? And okay, so you're a little clearer on.
Yes.
Okay, what is it you say? How much do you say she owes you?
It's $266.15.
All right, and that is in fact what the last bill in December says is owed entirely. And because you're saying that you paid your portion and then you didn't pay her portion and then you had to pay her portion later.
Yes.
And that, okay, all right, so we're clear. So then what you're suing for is the $179.78, which is the electric bill, and then $266.16, which is, you're saying, her portion of things.
Yes.
All right, and then your answer to whether you owe this money are two things. One, I don't have money. And two, I don't have money. I don't know. It really wasn't a two. It was really, I don't have money.
No, if I had the money, I would have paid it.
That's not a defense. You have to understand that that's not a defense. You're still going to have to pay it. You're going to have to get another job. I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $445.94.
Thank you.
Okay?
As the defendant leaving the courtroom here after the plaintiff has won this case, step right over here and your feeling on this judgment against you.
No, I feel like it was unfair because I was paying what I had and because I couldn't pay for whatever. And her refusing to accept that I couldn't pay for something, it was like she was throwing it over my head.
Well, you did hear the judge, and you do understand her saying that I can't pay is not a defense, right? You
Yeah,
understand
that's
that, right?
understandable.
Oh, okay. All right, right around this way. All right, so come on in here. And you didn't get everything you sued for, but
Yes.
what do you feel about what you did get?
I feel good because, you know, she was supposed to give me the money or whatever, and she never did. And she used her baby and her job as an excuse not to pay. Mm-hmm. So I'm not her mom or her sister to be like fitting
How
her
good of
bills.
friends were you two?
We were okay friends. We weren't like sisters, but we were okay friends.
And now?
We don't even talk to each other.
Harvey?
This comes up so much where somebody makes a deal and then they go to court and they say, Your Honor, my defense is that I can't afford it. Financial hardship is not a defense to breach of contract.